Hello, welcome to another Gundam Operation 2 video, and that is the modified Rick Dijeh. And welcome to another Buffed or Scuffed. If you guys aren't familiar with this series, basically the devs will do what is called a unit adjustment, where at the end of every month, they will take a few suits and buff them, or even sometimes nerf them, and we take a look at them, either suits that interest me, or suits that people want, to look at by popular demand, right? Last week we did the Gunner Gundam, which still sucks. The Gunner Gundam, along with the Kaplant, were showcased for the next update because like, oh hey, they got new weapons. Oh, the Gunner Gundam got buffed. Wow. And then lurking in the shadows of these two suits that have been buffed, in the buff list, right, was the modified Rick Dijeh, where they did some pretty good buffs for this suit. And before I get any further with the modified Rick Dijeh, I'm going to tell you guys right now, I mean, first of all, it's a raid, so I got to say I'm not a raid player. And second of all, the modified Rick Dijeh, I literally have not touched since the initial thoughts I did on this suit, which was a long time ago. The modified Rick Dijeh is just not my kind of suit to play. I even mentioned that in initial thoughts. I think back then I just could not make that suit work worth a piss. It was just not good for me. But I recognize this is actually a pretty good suit. If you're a raid player, if you're an experienced raid player, the modified Rick Dijeh was a pretty damn good raid to play. You have potentially 3 stuns, where you have the Hakushiki beam rifle as your primary. You have a shrapnel bazooka, which I believe at the time was like the regular Dijeh's shrapnel, so it's like a shotgun basically. For me, I just could not get a stun with that shrapnel bazooka, no matter how many pellets I hit. I just could not get one, and people were like sniping me with that. It's like, damn, I wish I could do that. And then you have the knuckle sealant launcher for your third stun. Of course, it's the sealant launcher, so it's not going to be doing too much damage, but it will slow targets along with stunning them. So you have a pretty good stun lock situation there. And then you do have 2 melee weapons: the beam naginata and the double beam sabers. I think you also have Vulcans as well, and a shield, so that's pretty nice. And of course, with that, you do have a ton of different skills relating to tackling. Where you have a double tackle, you have enhanced tackle, and you do have interrupt tackle as well. So you could just melee somebody, then tackle them afterwards, tackle them again if you really wanted to, or do a dodge roll. You also have EX boost, where if you press the touchpad button, unfortunately you cannot do that while boosting. You have to be like standing still, or not standing still, at least not boosting, right? If you activate the touchpad button to activate EX boost, you get 6 seconds of indefinite boosting, unless you tackled or did a dodge roll. At that point, you can give yourself a double dodge roll, or give yourself technically a triple tackle, right? So you could do something like that, right? But the downside is when the timer goes away, or you waste all the time, right? It would take a long time for overheat to go away, so it's kind of a risky option to do. But yeah, that's it for the modified Rick Dijeh itself, and it's been buffed. And I gotta say, it's probably because just general power creep, where the suit itself, I feel like it was a pretty good raid. I've witnessed people do really well with it. It was good. It's just that with the ridiculousness that is 600 and 650 just ever increasing. I mean, first of all, we have a lot of good raids now, like the S Gundam. Oh my goodness, the S Gundam coming in at 600, just one of the best raids. That it feels like a 650 suit even. And then not only that, you also have really good generals coming in, like the Hazentley, the Atlas Gundam, the mass production Double Zeta. These suits just kick the modified Rick Dijeh's ass, or at least because they are way stronger generals than the rest at the time. And then the supports also got buffed. A good couple of supports. Have like the Zaku 4 has been buffed. That was one of my other past buffed or scuffs, along with the Xanthos, the Gelgu Vertex Xanthos, and that was a mean buff for that suit. That suit is fantastic now. And then of course some other suits coming in. So yeah, it was definitely suffering from just the cost just getting better and better, and it was still just kind of there, right? Because it wasn't like a huge. It was more like a pseudo-general compared to other raids, right? So it wasn't super massive damage dealing. It just had a lot of good, useful skills and tools in its hand. to try and do well with. It wasn't you know, it wasn't walking up and doing 10k heavy attacks, right? It didn't even have a heavy attack. That's how old the suit is. You know, it's an really it's an older raid when it doesn't have a heavy attack, right? So I say older raid. I think it was a little bit after heavy attacks got introduced, but you get what I mean. But yeah, so what did they buff about the modified Rick Dijeh? Well, let's go to the reference data first. The average, I should say, win rate for a 600 raid was 50.9. This suit had a 48.4, so it's already in the area of needing a buff. Since we know previously that that Bandai or BB Studios, whoever, they know that a suit needs a buff when it's at 48%. They did that constantly with a bunch of other suits we covered. And the average win rate for 650 was 50.8. This suit had a 46.7, so that dropped even lower. And then for the damage dealt, which I forgot to mention for 600, 600 was 75,000. This suit had a 70,000. And for 650, it was 82,000. This suit had a 72,000. So only marginally increased, while the win rate for between the cost for raids actually just increased by a ton, right? So it was definitely it just needed something. So finally, what did they buff about this suit? So first of all, for the unit features, the unit HP has been increased from 20,500 to 22,000. And of course, upper levels have also been enhanced. And yeah, that's pretty good. You just get more health. That's nice. You know, that means more survivability, technically. The unit skill EX boost level 1 has been increased to level 2, which is actually a really good change for the suit, because 6 seconds, again, like I said, 6 seconds, for me, just doesn't feel too big to kind of make use of the EX boost. But this, you get, with level 2, there's a huge jump. You go from 6 seconds for the level 1 to 15 seconds on the level 2. So you get 15 seconds of doing infinite boosts. And I believe since your timer will go down from doing dodge rolls and tackles, that actually allows you to do more than just one dodge roll at a time. Before you know, you have to wait for your overheat. So that can come in useful in situations where maybe you need multiple dodge rolls, or maybe a dodge roll and a tackle afterwards, or you need to get somewhere without having to stop, you know. So yeah, that is definitely just a really good increase for this suit here. And I mean, also I gotta mention that since you have indefinite boost, you can just keep swapping between your melee weapons, right? So that's also a really good use of the EX boost. Next, the unit skill melee combo controller level 1 is increased to level 2, so that means your weapons do not have 2 melee swings. So now you get 3 melee swings, which should increase your melee stun lock potential, and of course just your damage output in general, because you get that extra swing on both your weapons. Really nice. The level 2 range attack, so that actually got boosted from 24 to 30, so now the 650 has a little bit more range strength. And the level 2, so the 650 suit again also had a melee boost from 53 to 58, so now you do more melee damage. So yeah, just nice general changes. Now onto the weapons. The double beam sabers, the weapon switching time has actually been reduced, which is quite nice because, well, yeah, you can just juggle people a lot better, right? So yeah, that's really good. You can go into your combos a lot more efficiently. That's all for the double beam sabers, and now the clay bazooka here. You have a new weapon. The clay bazooka, the shrapnel has been replaced with a new sub weapon here, and that is the RD Custom C bazooka shrapnel. And this is basically just it is just the shrapnel bazooka on fucking meth. It's like the Xeon shotgun if it had actual sniping range, which is funny because sometimes it does, but yeah, the power is increased. You know, each pellet, instead of being the 80 damage per pellet like it used to be, it now has 150 damage per pellet. The range has been increased, so instead of having 150 meters, it now has 300 meters. And the stagger accumulation value has been increased. And let me tell you, this is one of the best changes on the modified Rick Dijeh here. I mentioned that I just could not get a stun worth a damn with this the shotgun. Yeah, now it's kind of impossible to not get a stun with it. Although I still miss, but you know. The shrapnel now can just pretty much mid-range stun somebody, and that can combo again more efficiently into either your knuckle sealant launcher or your beam rifle to juggle somebody. It is insane how this shotgun is now. again, like mid-range stun. It almost feels like it's beyond the Xeon shotgun at times. It is just gross. Like, ugh. And this is one of the suits they didn't showcase for the update for this month. They said, hey, here's the Gunner Gundam with its poopy sensor pod. We're not going to tell you about the modified Rick Dijeh. And then, yeah, the modified Rick Dijeh comes out of nowhere like Batman out of the shadows, and yeah, it starts kicking ass. So, yeah, that's all they did for buffs on the modified Rick Dijeh. And, yeah, to say if it's buffed or scuffed, this suit is most definitely buffed. Yeah, it fixes one of the weapons, at least for me. I know some people didn't have an issue with it, but yeah, it makes a weapon a lot more consistent for stuns, and it is a really good stun accumulation weapon as well, where you can be taking people out of the sky or just, you know, stopping maneuver armor or just stopping somebody from a distance, just in general. And you follow up with your beam rifle or your knuckle ceiling launcher to slow people down. You get the double melee now. I say now, it's a lot more easier to combo with your double melee now. Along with the other skills that the Rick Dijeh has, my bad, the modified Rick Dijeh. You know, I gotta make a difference there. With the modified Rick Dijeh, it is just it made what the suit, why it was good back then, and it makes it just helps it out now. Still playing that way. It helps it kind of contend with a lot of the suits nowadays. You know, we have the Atlas. You know, that suit can fly. The suit can technically counter that. You have the Beyond Custom that can fly. You can shoot the Beyond Custom out of the sky with the shrapnel. I've done that plenty of times. I've seen people do that plenty of times. So you have a anti-air essentially as well. Again, mid-range approach with that. And just, again, we mentioned it's like a pseudo-general. You have all of these skills and weapons that kind of just help you just stay around. How do I interpret this or articulate this? You're definitely not like other raids where you can just stun and just go right in with a heavy attack and just kill the support immediately, or just go in just ham, right? With your weapons and skills, you can kind of just stay around just longer. Again, like a pseudo-general. I wish I can articulate this point a little bit more, but I think some of you guys might know what I mean. Where compared to some of the other raids where your job is to like dish out as much damage before you die, this suit can kind of just stay around. Now, unfortunately, like I said, I'm not very good playing this. I do a terrible job of showcasing that, but in fact, I think one of the builds I've done with the suit, I gave it 80 melee strength because I want it to be that kind of raid where it's like I know I'm gonna die, so I might as well just go in and just kill somebody as fast as I can before you know I get myself killed. I know a lot of people are going to be very, very much appreciative of this buff. They're going to like it, and especially those that are already really good with the Rick Dijeh. Again, it's just the answer to the question, buffed or scuffed, it's definitely buffed. And again, not the best raid, but I feel like you can at least be a little bit more confident picking this, especially with that change of the shotgun. That really helps you out in approaching people. It really, really does, along with the EX boost as well. The EX boost is also really helpful. 15 seconds of infinite boost. It does go down with each dodge roll and all that, but you can use that for increased survival odds. Because you do have maneuver armor as well. I forgot to mention that. You have maneuver armor as a skill. So you can definitely use that in situations to get yourself out of dodge and whatnot. So yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe if you want. I'd really appreciate it. And, you know, type up in the comments section how you feel about the modified Rick Dijeh. Do you like it? Do you hate it? And, again, gameplay-wise, the way the suit is, I hate it. I'm just going to be frank with you. I just hate it. I can't make it work for me. But I'm not going to let my experiences with the suit persuade me on this, because I know it does have really, really amazing skills, and you really need the right player, and I've seen the right player. I think I mentioned that in my initial thoughts as well. It needs the right hands to control it. My hands are just not the hands to play this suit. Maybe if it was a general, maybe I'd be a little bit more better with it, because I'm not trying to like force myself in certain situations to like do raid gameplay, right? I guess. Maybe it was a general, would be a lot better for me, but yeah, it is definitely, again, it's definitely buffed. And yeah, that'll be it, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.